Hello, lovely loves. Thanks for joining me today. So, I actually want to do something a little bit different than what I've normally done so far, and that's to do a response video. I just wanted to first make it clear that I don't do response videos in order to attack anyone's character or maybe even psychoanalyze anyone. I'm actually only speaking from my journey, and my purpose of doing response videos is always to just allow people to find a path that may be a little bit quicker for them. I wholeheartedly believe that, regardless of which path you decide to take, or however, pretty much whatever you do, you're all going to go back to home. Like, everyone's going to eventually go back to the same place. So my goal really is to just allow the most peace and love and have the brightest light and path for anyone who's listening. So this is actually going to be on Teal Swan's video, The Truth About Gurus. And whenever I do get a chance to listen to Teal Swan, I always find myself inspired and asking, questions. So that's actually pretty awesome. And I think that we probably would be really good friends, because there's just so much that she does. It's like a quality within her that brings out like questioning and kind of just, it causes me to ask my inner self whenever I end up listening to her videos. So let's just keep it short and digestible. I want to go ahead and get right into it. So I'll link the video below that Teal made. So first of all, she says that anyone who's a self-proclaimed guru identifies only one of three ways. So this is how she's saying that you would have to kind of identify with your reality and everything. So you would either pick an identity that would be the guru identity, and then disown any other identity that may come up. So you're basically writing a script that is the guru script that you ascribe to, and then everything else is not ascribed to. So that's the first one. The second one is that you disidentify with everything. So you have no identity that you ascribe to whatsoever. And so you're kind of in a state of denial. You're almost like, I'm not even here because I'm not ascribing to absolutely anything. And then she has a third way, which is the way that she herself thinks is the best way. And this is where you have a unity within all the identities. And she describes this as genuine integration. And she's unifying all parts to higher consciousness. So first of all, I do understand totally where she's coming from, and I respect her journey. So, and I do think that she's actually helped me also. I've watched some of her videos, a year or so ago. I watched quite a few of them. First of all, I do agree that identifying with a guru is a script that you make up in your ego, and then you ascribe to that. And, that's probably maybe not the best idea, only because you may fall into then, like she said, you would have some other things come up that you haven't actually dealt with. And then, so you're writing a fictional script, so it's unauthentic. So that's, it's harder to do anything when you're not being authentic. And then the disidentifying, completely selflessness, it also could lead you down a path where you're denying parts of yourself that need to be heard. And usually when that happens, you'll see it in your environment, you'll see it in your reality, because since you're not allowing it to go through you emotionally, it's going to come through you physically, through either physical symptoms or your physical reality and situations, because unconsciously all the things have to come up and they have to be played out. So regardless of how you want to deal with it, if you want to completely deny it or not, it's still going to have to come up. Okay, so it makes sense that integration would be the logical choice. And actually, that seems like it would be the logical choice. Well, let's look into it just a little bit more closely. Teal makes the argument for the inner child. And then she says that the inner child is like Jesus, the adult is like God, and then the spirit is like your true self, or your true outer body self. And she calls this the Holy Trinity,
What you will end up with at the end of this is a unified self, a selfhood in a state of wholeness. The truth is that these selves within, when integrated, will merge as one, and in doing so, so will the universe at large. It is what the universe meant when thousands of years ago humanity conceptualized of there being a Father, the adult, the Son, which is the inner child, and the Holy Ghost, the higher self. All will become one. The secret is that the seed of each is contained in the other. So, for example, by cutting oneself off from the inner child, one cannot fully access the higher self. One can only act in a way where, according to an identity, a selected identity.
And that's actually not the same idea that I have for the Holy Trinity. So let's look at what I believe is the Holy Trinity. So basically, my Holy Trinity is your body self, Jesus, the Father, Source God, and then the Holy Spirit is the intuition or the telephone line that links the physical through to the spiritual. So at least 3D to other dimensions. And that's basically how I feel what is the Holy Trinity. So it's a little bit different than what she's saying. So first of all, the ego's core is absolutely insane. So there's really no way in my mind to integrate insanity to sanity. Just like there's no way to turn a lie into the truth. I'm not saying that the fears and insecurities and the shadow work that needs to be done won't need to still be done. Like, it's still going to need to be done regardless. But the work that's being done, it's being reflected to you by your interactions, by your subconscious. It's coming up for you anyway. So, I mean, the work is going to get done regardless. The path home is there, and everybody's going there. Some of us, I'm trying to make it like as smooth as possible, but there's going to be some bumps on the path, for most people at least. So what I'm saying is basically the inner child doesn't exist. So the inner child is not real. The inner child is not real. It's only a construct that's within your mind. It's a story that you've made, and you can at any moment choose to put it down, and you can come, with open arms into heaven. So, I mean, how difficult or easy for you to do that is really up to the individual. Removing the blocks to heaven can be instantaneous, but, usually it does deal with some shadow work. Usually there's some shadow work involved with it. And, that's something that we're all dealing with that day to day. The ego to me is like that little insane child. And, really, in all ultimate reality, this little insane child is like a little small fly in the vastness of the entire universe. So don't give it more power than that. When you choose to say that you have to integrate it, when you choose to say that you have to, at least in my experience, when you choose to say that you need to work with it and you need to go into it, you're giving it so much power that it doesn't even deserve. You're giving something that's not even real power, and that's your choice to do. So there's nothing to unify within a shadow, because once the light comes onto the shadow is gone. Like, it doesn't exist. So basically you don't need to integrate a lie. You just need to recognize that it's a lie, and then, the belief in this lie is built around you like an onion. So there's layers and layers and layers of this lie built around all of us. And it's kind of like a shell that encases our being in some ways. Like, we've built this almost like a umbrella, and we're blocking the rays, the great rays of the sun. That is who we really are. So we have to slowly peel away this onion. And you're still you. It's not that you disidentify with your authenticity. You're still unique. You're a child of God, and you're completely authentic. So there is really only light. So, yeah, that's all I need to say from my heart to yours. Thank you.
Hey guys, so I wanted to add a little more on here that I just decided to point out after the recording. First of all, symbolically speaking, we're all little children. We're all these little aspects of Source. So it's not like we have to grow out of the innocence of a child as we like to see it, because that's the fragrance of us all. It's actually a reminder of the fragrance that we all carry. So the inner child that I'm actually speaking of that's not real is all the roles that we ascribe to and the scripts that come with them. Maybe the script is a story that says, I am a weak, discriminated against female. Or it could be something that's seemingly harmless, like, I am very shy. All of these stories and characteristics are actually not real. I'm not saying that your reality, that you're seeing, your 3D reality, is not reflecting the story back to you. In fact, your reality is likely reflecting the story if this is a program that you have been running on. They are all scripts and mindsets chosen by us at some point. Some even chosen before birth by us. Others we picked in, the age 0 to 7 when we were downloading. And others are just accepted as cultural norms. So they're group agreements that we've consciously all, on a conscious level agreed on as being real. I'm also in no way attempting to discredit Teal. I just want to point out that the truth is that love is available to everyone right now. And I'm just saying, don't give all the layers of lies and all of these layers of fog that we have placed around us, and all these different aspects of roles that we've signed up to. Don't place belief in them by giving them validation. Don't give them the validation to really believe in them. I also just want to quickly say that I'm not saying that, there's one way that will work and the other ones won't work. In fact, all of them will eventually work because it's already written. It's more about choosing the path that carries you with the least amount of effort and fear. And if you're looking into these types of things, you're searching for a way to have the least amount of effort and fear. And I'm just trying to give you an extension to show you that, this way is available to you, and this is always available to you. Thank you.